Hey there, and welcome to Careers Unchecked, the podcast where we stop checking boxes and start making moves. This is for barrier breakers, career builders, and anyone who's ready to build a career that actually feels like theirs. I'm Brandy Oldham, career coach, interior designer, and year-round iced coffee drinker. Around here, we keep it real, from navigating career pivots to figuring out how to stay balanced when your to-do list feels like it's just never ending. Whether you're chasing that next promotion, thinking about switching things up, or just trying to figure out what's next, you're in the right place. My goal? To help you trust yourself, take action that feels good, and build a career that's sustainable, not stressful. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get to it. Today we're talking about how you change careers without, honestly, burning it all down. You don't always need a dramatic exit. Sometimes you just need to follow the nudge. The one that says, this isn't working anymore. This isn't me. Or honestly, I'm bored out of my mind and I think my brain is starting to leak out of my ears. If you felt like that, you're not broken. Honestly, you're paying attention. And that's exactly where I want to start today. So, more than a few years back, I was working in finance. Decent job, great paycheck, the kind of job people pat you on the back for landing. And on paper, I was doing everything right. Moving up through the company was great. But I was so bored, like mind-numbingly bored. I was doing the same thing every day, and it felt like my brain was literally melting. One day, I went on a recruiting trip to my alma mater, and something about being back on campus just stirred up something in me. The energy, the ideas, the conversations that weren't just about spreadsheets and quarterly reports and little acronyms that everyone was throwing around. I came home and realized, I think I need something else. So what I did was kind of wild. I signed up for a 4-month interior design trade school. No long-term plan, no clear business idea. I just knew I needed an injection of creativity in my life, and I needed it fast. And that decision, that one little half step, it actually changed the complete trajectory of my career. Let me be clear. I didn't quit my job the next day. I didn't sell all my stuff and move to a new city. I didn't announce anything on LinkedIn. Actually, no changes happened for like 18 months. I just chose to follow a thread of curiosity. And that thread led me to a whole new network of people, which led to learning the behind the scenes of a small business, which eventually led to building 2 companies of my own. But it all started with one quiet decision. Follow the spark without burning everything down around me. If you're feeling stuck right now, restless in your role, but unsure of what's next, this episode is for you. Because I want you to know that big pivots don't always start with big leaps. They often start with something much smaller, a half step, as I like to tell my clients. Why do we think it has to be all or nothing? We've all heard the stories. Someone quits corporate to become a yoga teacher or moves around the world to start a surf school. And those stories are fine, but I'm going to be honest, they're not the norm. Most real pivots happen in stages and quiet moments, in small experiments and stretch assignments and side projects and late night Google searches. Research from Harvard Business School actually backs this up as well. They find that most career changers spend 2 to 3 years in transition, and they use what's called the bridge strategy. It's a way to connect where you're going with where you've been. So let's talk about what that can actually look like. All right, here's a real client. One of my clients works in HR currently, and she wanted to get a better understanding of the business that she supported. So she asked to do a stretch assignment in a completely different business unit. No huge title change, no pay cut, just a short-term opportunity to build context and relationships, to see something from a new angle. Through that assignment, she realized how much she actually loved being closer to the retail side of the business, to the consumer. It opened doors, it expanded her network, and gave her a sense of purpose again. That wasn't a leap, it was literally a half step, and it worked. Another client I worked with was a teacher. She was moving to a new city and knew she wanted something different. We looked at what she loved about teaching, lesson planning, creative content, making things feel engaging and easy to understand. She pivoted into marketing. No fancy degree, no rebranding her entire resume. She just translated her existing skills into a new context. It wasn't about starting over. It was about starting where she already was. So let's talk about those half steps. Here's what I tell my clients all the time. If you're not ready to leap, take a half step. Volunteer in the industry you're curious about. Shadow someone who's doing the job you think you want. Sit in on a webinar, take a weekend course, start a side project, offer your help. Your pivot doesn't have to be big. It can just be a question you're slowly answering. So what are 3 ways to pivot without burning it all down? Here are 3 strategies I've seen work time and time again. Number 1, the adjacent move. This means finding roles that use most of your current skills, but in a slightly different setting. So you're not throwing away everything you've built, you're just shifting the focus area. So think maybe you go from sales to learning and development, project management, maybe to healthcare operations, a teacher to corporate training, finance to strategy and operations. What feels next door to what you're already doing? Number 2 is the internal pivot. Sometimes the shift you need is actually within your current company. So maybe you go to a new team, or you start a new project, or you take a new lens at something. This option often protects your compensation and lets you leverage the trust and relationships you've already built within the organization. If you work somewhere with opportunity, don't be afraid to explore it. Your next role might be 20 feet away from you at a different desk. And number 3, the portfolio approach. This one is perfect for my multi-passionate folks like myself. Instead of going all in on one new path, you shift your time gradually. Maybe 80% of your week stays in your current role and 20% is focused on exploring something new. Honestly, that's what I did. While I was working in finance, I started a passion project on the side, interior design. Over time, I began shifting more of my energy toward that passion project. And eventually it did become my full-time focus. For a while, interior design was 100% of my work, and it was great. But then something felt off. I realized I was missing the structure and strategy side of my brain. So I made another shift. And I've returned to the current balance, which is 80% career coaching and 20% interior design. And that mix works for me. It gives me the perfect blend of purpose and creativity, no drama, no cliff jump, just a slow, steady transition, guided by what felt right for me. So if you're thinking about this, how can you start this process this week? Make 2 lists. What energizes you and what drains you? Look for patterns, and that's your starting point. And then this month, you can reach out to 3 people doing work you're curious about. Ask them what their day looks like, not just their title, but how they actually spend their time. And if you need help with that conversation, check out episode 3 on how to network without feeling like a burden. Next quarter, I want you to try one small experiment. Volunteer, take a course, ask for a stretch assignment, join a local group or event. Listen, you don't need to have the perfect plan. You don't actually even need to make a public announcement, and you definitely don't need to blow up everything that's going on for you right now. But you might want to start paying attention. That restless part of you, she's not wrong. She's paying attention, and honestly, she's asking you for more. Not all at once, not in chaos, but in truth. So what's your half step? Thanks for joining me today on Careers Unchecked. If you've got a career question or just need someone to bounce an idea off of, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take a breath, take a step, and keep moving forward. You've got this.